Oh, my profane friends, I just wanted to do a review on this. This come through your Clarion support bulletin, right, for housing and that, yeah? But look at this. This is how Masonic things are, yeah? They used to be called, I'll show you in a minute what they used to be called. But there it is, look, the Masonic Cube of 6, okay? All right? We won't go any more into it, but this is Clarion, right? They used to be called, there's the Masonic Cube. They used to be called Clarion Houselet Group, previously the Circle Housing, the Circle, yeah, Housing Circle 33, okay? Now, watch this. This is amazing. The way they do the symbolism is just amazing. People don't, people don't believe it. Look, watch this, all right? You ready, my profane friends? Look, 3 and 3, 6, okay? 33. That's your first 6, all right? Oh, come down. So there's your first 6, all right? For 33, which is 33 degrees, that's your first 6, okay? Now, as we go down here, look, can you see it, look? Level 6. Oh, level 6 at 6 more London Place. See? So it's 6, 6, 6 at 33. Which gives you your other 6. So what we've got there is the mark of the beast of Freemasonry. Do you see what I mean, my profane friends? But I'll let you search it up and do your own research on it, right? I'm going to show you the reviews in a minute. So that's what they were previously called. Circle, which is for the compass, Housing 33, all right? And then it's level 6 at 6 more London, yeah? And if you add the 2 3s together, it gives 6, which is 666. So would you, my profane friends, trust these people? I don't think so. Now, and then you've got your tenancy policy. And if you look at that, okay, it says offer a 6-year fixed term tenancy. There's your other 6, okay? And then 18 months. And this, if you add the 8 and the 1, that gives you their Masonic 9, all right? Then here, look, exclusive damning report finds L&Q Housing Association try to silence tenants, okay? And this is, you know, like, and this is what happens when you're dealing with Freemasonry. They shush everything up, okay? In constant cycle of inadequate action, right? And that's what you'll find right across the board. Inadequate action of police doing anything that's really remotely called policing, yeah, or you know, anything to do with anything Freemasonry, it's never done, yeah, because they protect their own. And this is the system you're living in. They always protect their own. Yeah, they're unduly heavy-handed in dealing with some complaints, yeah, because they're all Freemasons. The thing that's not asked is how many landlords that belong to this company of 33, how many of them are Freemasons and belong to the lodge? Do you know what I mean? Because all they care about is money, 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 yeah? Now, you know, like here, look, whether that investigates antisocial behaviour, disrepair, complaints, or when the ombudsman asked the landlords to put things right, says Housing Ombudsman Richard Blakely in his report, you see. So you can read that all yourself anyway, right? And then we go to here, again, look, the cases span 30 local authorities, because the local authorities and the 30 of them, you need to ask how many of them belong to Masonic lodges, and you'll find they all do, because it's all about the money, money, money. You know what I mean? It's where they get their money from the government. You know what I mean? They're paid hand over fist with money that should be dealt properly to the profane. You know what I mean? Not conned, you know, out of right. And then we've got the complaints. Look, yet again, Clarion let people down. Yeah. You know, kitchen issues, look, they are useless and don't have a clue. Do you know what I mean? They ain't got a clue. They just don't do it because they're Freemasons and they're dealing with profane people, and they just keep screwing them over, delay and shushing up, when the real investigation should be an independent one and say how many landlords are Freemasons belonging to the lodge, because it's all the same people doing the same corrupt career criminal shit that they do to profane right across the board. you know what I mean? Regardless of what that is. Look, a year today I've been trying for a bathroom adaptation for my mother-in-law who has 2 new hips, severe arthritis, a stroke, and now a heart monitor installed. And she's lived at wherever for 40 years, always paid on time. They now tell me she doesn't need a shower room as she doesn't have a stair lift. These jokes would have been better off in a circus, passing you from one to the other, always excuses. And that's what Freemasons do. They pass you to one person to the next person. Always got the excuse. They're not here, they're not there, you know what I mean? Look, I've reported it to the local MP involved, which is another Freemason. You see what I mean? I've gone to the doctors, another Freemason. And all they do is just pass you on because they deal with isolation. You see what I mean? You're dealing as a person, one person against a monolithic, corrupt system. Do you see what I mean? And when you complain to these people, regardless if it's police, social services, or any of them, you're as a one person. Do you see what I mean? But you're dealing with Freemasonry and the corruption behind it. Yeah. Again, look, antisocial behaviour, housing husbands. But you'll have to look it up yourself. But it all goes into it, and it's complaint after complaint after complaint. Do you know what I mean? But these people, like I said, when you go up against these, whether it's like bailiffs, police, social services, you've got complaints against these people, or schools, you know, if you've got complaints against teachers, you know, they all cover their own backs because that's the system you're fighting all the time. And they rely on, like, you're that single person complaining. You're not that single person complaining because it goes on in every town and city. Do you see what I mean? And it's all the same people, which is called Freemasons, that run these positions of power. And all they do is just keep you living on that shitty fucking end of the stick all the time, where you can never self-improve yourself, you know. Look, I don't know why. If you dare complain, well, no chance. I have begged them for 2 years, nothing. I will tell you my story, nothing to lose, just my health after being a victim of ASB, robbery, threats and abuse. I am an OAP, alone, you see what I mean, and scared still. You see what I mean? They rely on your isolation, and that's how they play you all the time. And you can find complaints, whether it's the police, social service, they rely on your singularity, yeah, knowing that they're with a uniform on, it commands a shush up. Do you know what I mean? Shh. You're not saying anything. It doesn't matter what you say. We'll pass you over to someone else. Oh, that person's retired, or that person's gone to another station. Now you have to deal with me. That, you know, that's another old favourite with them. Do you see what I mean? Oh, I didn't know nothing about that. They were away on holiday. Do you know what I mean? Or this, that, and the other. They're the excuses you get, and you get the runaround. And that doesn't matter what the system is. You know, if you're going to the, you know, the dole office for your whatever, you know what I mean? You get sanctioned because the person doesn't like you. You know what I mean? You complain about it. It's nothing because the whole people in there will work against you to shush you up. Do you know what I mean? But the complaints are astronomical. Do you know what I mean? Because it's the same system of Freemasonry, and you ain't getting anywhere. And that's it. I just wanted to complain about that because that's what Freemasonry is and what they do, you know. And like I said, they keep relying on people's isolation. When you get bailiffs come round, yeah, bailiffs at your door, that's career criminals. Do you know what I mean? If you ain't sure, look at Dave Courtney. He did debt collecting, knocking on doors, getting cars, repossession, because they ain't going to send a choir boy round to get your stuff. They're going to send a career criminal, someone who can fight and who has dominance over that person, and rely on you being isolated and scared. Do you see what I mean? That's what it all bases down on: being scared, frightened, and being alone. But you ain't, because there's people, regardless of what you research, yeah, regardless of what it is, police complaints, social services, you know, the amount of social services complaints I get in the police and all the rest of it, all the people are just thinking they're on their own, and it's just their complaint. It ain't, it's everyone's complaint, and the complaint is that Freemasons are running the show and you need to oust them out. Do you know what I mean? But there you go. Look, housing debt is full of liars, yeah? Do you see what I mean? You know, they ignore you or twist the truth to suit them. Even if you are desperate, ill, elderly, and have a valid need to move to a safer environment, need family help and support, don't bother trying to get any help from Clarion, because they're Freemasons. They will just pretend, lie, ignore you, won't talk to you, don't message back, pretend they are on holiday. Let's see what I mean. Pretend they're on holiday every month, so no one ever is available. ever. They will do anything and everything not to help you. Don't know why. If you dare complain, well, no chance. I have begged them for 2 years. And that's what you do. But it isn't just like Clarion House. It's the police. It's the social services. You see what I mean? But people need to wake up that behind that system, which is the same of everything, it's Freemasonry, and they're the ones doing that to you. You're the profane. You can't complain. We are never ever going to allow you to come out of the rut and stand with us within the lodge getting food, best drink. Do you know what I mean? You are not ever going to be doing that. You're never going to, your children are never going to have a good wedding. They're never going to be able to drive good cars. Do you see what I mean? Our people will, because we can afford it. We've got the money. All the money flows to us within the temple. Nothing flows out of that money, out of that temple to support the profane within the neighbourhoods or anything else. And we'll keep conning them, screwing them over, and there's nothing they can do about it. You know what I mean? And that's what it all boils down to. Research who's behind these companies, you know, because you're not alone. This is all what it's all about. And you've got to stop thinking the police, yeah? The police ain't, it's not just the police, the social services, you know, and your government officials. It's Freemasonry. They're just wearing uniforms, yeah, that hide their Masonic aprons. You see what I mean, yeah? And they're professionals, and they've been doing it for centuries and decades, how to keep the profane under their boot, their jackboot, and in that rut of never ever. Do you think they're going to allow you to stand there with the Lords, Dukes and Earls? No, of course not. They'll allow you to buy your council house, and you think you've got a result buying a house that you don't own anyway, because when we come to retirement, they get you and force you to sell it, because you can't go into the retirement home and use that money unless you sell that house. So it goes back to them anyway, and they own the retirement homes. Do you see what I mean? And that's the system we're living in, you know. But you've got to open up to it, you know. You've got to open and expand your mind and think Freemasonry, because that's what you're living in. Freemasons own the police. Freemasons own the social services. Freemasons own your town halls. Freemasons own your you know, your residents, whatever your parish councils. They own your churches, they own your ministers, they own your cathedrals. Do you see what I mean? And everyone, it's all a show to keep you under their jackboot, yeah, because they look after the lords, the dukes and the earls. And if you ain't rowing the same as them, you're going down. They're going to gang stalk you, they're going to harass you, they're going to do everything in their power to stop you rising above your station, which is in the being a profane peasant working in factories, stacking shelves and all the rest of it. Wake up to Freemasonry. Like I said, the complaints you're now reading about on this person here happens with the police force. You know, you see it in the videos. You know what I mean? It don't matter. Just look at it, research it. Just put in complaints, police. You'll see the same people. Yeah, what are profane. Complain about the same thing, but behind that uniform is a Masonic apron, and that's what you're dealing with. You know, go down to where you go to their hotels, yeah, and you look and you film them, yeah, and you see how they're eating well, drinking well, can afford a car. The kids can afford a car. Their kids are given money on a plate. You know, businesses, all of that, yeah, they're having the easiest life ever, while your family struggle to even pay for your parents' funeral when they fucking died. Do you know what I mean? Let alone anything else. And they're going into paupers' graves. Do you know what I mean? That's why they got big obelisk graves and big blocks of marble and all the rest of it, because the money and the wealth just flows up to them. They don't need to spend any money. Do you know what I mean? Because it's there already. Do you know what I mean? And they're working in cahoots just to keep you as hard as they can in that rut and in that shithole. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, wake up, my profane friends. Have a great day, sugar puffs.